You good? I'm waiting for another hiccup. Hello and welcome. We are the Ladies of Strange. I'm Ashley.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rebecca.
Thank you for joining us each week as we discuss
The history, mystery, and theory.
Hello and welcome. We are the Ladies of Strange. I'm Ashley.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rebecca.
Thank you for joining us each week as we discuss
The history, mystery, and theory.
Of all things questionable, odd, and eerie. So we have a special guest this week.
Who?
That one.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
So-
So we're gonna tell you about him in just a second. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Don't you worry.
So I have a brother.
You have two.
I have two brothers. The one that is here, his name is Nick.
Hello.
And
It's Thor.
It is Thor. Sorry.
they call him Thor because he supposedly looks like Chris Hemsworth. And I
A
think
while ago, not anymore.
Well, after you cut your hair, he cut his hair. So kinda still.
Trendsetters.
I
Sorry.
set that trend, just so we're clear.
Anyway. So Nick is a computer guru. And he helped me set up the website. And so I said, as payment for your services, would you like to guest star on our show?
You can hang out with us for a couple hours. Sorry.
Sucker.
So we know who got the better end of that deal.
Totally.
Us.
Yes.
Yeah, it was us. It was
Slash you
100%
guys
us.
for the website.
Yes.
Yeah. But Nick does come bearing gifts.
Oh, yes, that is right. Okay, so I did, in fact, get a 3D printer over Christmas. Surprisingly enough, they're pretty affordable these days, but that's beside the point. So I've been playing around printing different things and having fun printing different things. This is a Republic Salon bag, but no, this is not from the salon. Just so we're clear.
just so you know.
He told me the same thing, and
So
again, I'm
actually-
like, why is this relevant?
No, I thought it was food. So like.
You like dinosaurs, correct?
I do.
Okay. I think you're going to like this one.
What? Sorry. How did you do that?
Heck?
That is printed as one big piece, and it's a
like
wiggly
jointed.
dinosaur. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is the coolest. I'm glad I asked if you were a hugger because I have a feeling you're going to be getting hugs. That is so cool.
Oh my god, I love him. Thank you.
No problem. It was
my God.
it was fun to print. That's for sure. Getting it all
I
to
could
work
imagine.
properly. It was
This
fun
is
to print.
How? You don't actually have to explain it.
Because she won't understand it, but that's so cool.
Okay.
I have to hide it from my child.
And for Tiffany, I heard that you also like unicorns.
Oh.
Yes.
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 So I did my best.
Oh my god, it looks like the dinosaur, or the unicorn from
It's so fluffy.
Thank you.
I told you you'd break them.
He's so chunky. I love him.
You just said he
He's
was
so
janky.
fluffy. He's chunky. Look at him.
I thought you said he's so
Baby's
janky.
got back. He's so cute. Thank you. I'm so happy.
We're children.
And last but not least, I've got my sister here. I decided to get her something too. And since she played a lot of Pokemon, I thought, why not
It's a Pikachu!
have a
my
little
gosh.
Pikachu?
My goodness.
It's a Pikachu!
Oh, Nick, you're so cool.
How many
I'm
things
so
do you have in
happy.
your bag?
It's like the Mary Poppins bag.
I'm so happy.
I'm just like, dee, 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 dee.
And
I
now,
can't break him.
How do you have more?
Wait, what?
now that everyone has their own unique toy,
Oh my god.
I thought it would be fun to print everyone a little custom keychain.
What did you
It's her initials. It's
You are amazing. Oh my god.
Nick. You're our favorite person. Rebecca, we love you, but he's my favorite right now.
You've temporarily been replaced.
My worst fears have happened. I've been replaced by my brother.
I mean, he's Thor. Look at this. Nick, you're getting
Oh my gosh.
hugged.
Okay, so
I
it's
told
probably
you she's gonna spider monkey
it's
you.
probably
I told
pointless to ask Ashley and Tiffany what your poisons are right now.
So happy.
You. It's
so fluffy. It's so fluffy. Guys, we'll put pictures up. But it looks like the unicorn from Despicable Me.
It does.
I'm glad you finally remembered the movie.
I think my dinosaur is intoxicated.
Okay, see, the cool thing about the dinosaur is it can actually it can sit on its tail.
What?
So, like, not like that necessarily. If you loop it around and curl it a little bit.
Other way.
Other way? Yes. Yes. A little bit.
Oh my god.
We'll post pictures for you guys so we can see what
Definitely.
we're talking about.
This is
Oh my god.
I'm so happy right now. Thank you. Oh,
Nope, not when I've had wine. He can't. It's just gonna go right there.
bye, Rainbow Dash.
Just the rainbow
Upgraded.
anyway.
Oh man,
She doesn't stand up well anyway, so it's
So
fine.
you replaced it with a floppy dinosaur.
Yeah, have you seen this?
Yes, I have.
And it's one piece.
Oh my god.
It's like magic.
Look,
Oh my god, I'm so
got
happy.
Pinkie Pie, you have friends. I'm so happy.
There's
you.
two types of people. Look, Pinkie Pie, you have friends, and I chug mine across the room.
This is awesome. I am so happy.
Are you both teary-eyed?
No. Yes.
I'm sweating.
My eyeballs are sweating a little bit.
So
It's
apparently
fine.
me and Nick share the trend of making co-hosts cry.
Nice.
I have not cried because of him yet. You?
I
Yes.
teary-eyed.
Sorry.
I like how she says yet.
I mean,
Oh, I'm an emotional person. There's a chance. You're going to be like, oh my god, you're pretty. And I'm gonna be like, oh my god, thank you.
Oh my god, Thor thinks I'm pretty.
Oh my gosh, if I told my son that, he would have an aneurysm.
don't do that then.
Yeah, let's not.
Oh.
So shall we jump into poisons?
Yeah.
Sure.
Rebecca, would you like to kick us off?
Yes, my poison is the coffee I'm drinking right now.
Why is that, Rebecca?
Because I stayed up too late, possibly drinking a little too much. And it was either get coffee and be semi-funny or not get coffee and be a butt.
You were almost up until the witching hour. You should have just held out a little while longer.
There's no but.
You
What are
have
you
a
doing,
unicorn
Tiffany?
butt.
Oh my god.
It's a unicorn.
She violated my personal space.
I
My
know.
my poison is now Tiffany violated my personal
I got a
space.
cute unicorn butt that was just like all up in your space.
Unicorn
So
butts are
Nick,
great
what's your poison?
Oh yeah, Nick, welcome. Would you like a poison?
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be here. Let's just get that aside.
Yay,
I'm so
I'm
glad
still
you're glad.
to be here, that is.
For now.
So,
That's a fair statement.
currently, as of recording this is just a couple days prior to school starting back for the spring semester.
Sorry.
And I hate that.
Yeah,
Granted, I like getting into the schedule, but I hate the fact that the break is over.
fair.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Be an adult and you just don't get a break.
Tempting. It's tempting.
And then you don't have to worry about it being over because it never starts.
You'll be there soon.
And everyone drinks.
Mhm.
How do you do
All
that?
the time.
All the time. It's 3:00 in the afternoon, and my child's downstairs with my mother, so I get to drink. It's fine.
4.
It's 4.
It's almost 5 o'clock.
Somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Tiffany, your poison this week, my love.
Besides my unicorn fluffy butt, and my new keychain.
Is that his name?
Yes,
Mr.
you
Unicorn
see
Fluffy
Fluffy
Butt.
he's so cute and chunky. Man, I had a poison before this. What is my poison? Oh, I started therapy and medication. Yay! So there's that.
That might
And
be why she's happy crying over there.
30-year-old Tiffany danced in a roller rink with 11-year-old Tiffany recently, so it was great.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so
Did you have to do like regression therapy or something?
no,
Well, see,
Think back to your happiest
When
moment.
she
Tiffany
first
was
told
like,
me-
Backstreet Boys, roller rink.
full disclaimer,
11.
when she first told me this, I'm like, you went to a roller rink with who? What? I thought you had a doctor's appointment.
she was like, I thought you said you were going to see a doctor.
I was so confused.
I had to
No.
go get in a quick skate before I came into work.
My therapist does like this guided meditation, which I thought was really weird at first. And I told her that. And she was like, yeah, let's dive into why you think it's weird and like how to. Yeah. So it was weird. But by the time I left, I was like, man, that was awesome and very helpful. And during that guided meditation, I somehow ended up in a roller rink with the 11-year-old Tiffany dancing the bullies away. It was great.
Hey, if it worked for you.
It did. It
That's
really
all
did.
that matters.
So it was a good time.
Dancing, you missed. I wish you guys could have seen her shimmy as she danced the bullies away.
It was great. So yeah, that was my poison. Rebecca.
I already gave mine.
Oh yeah, you did. Oh, it's Ashley's
She
turn to
started. It's
record.
my
I was
turn.
gonna say, Ashley
Hi.
started chugging
My
right
turn
when
to
it was her
record.
turn.
Yeah, this lack of sugar thing, which Rebecca was supposed to do with me and she's not, is kicking my ass.
Sorry.
But yeah, so I started watching videos about it and they said the first like 11 days really suck. And then after that, you're all right. I'm on day 4.
Okay.
But, baby, and it's not even no sugar. Like, these people are doing no sugar whatsoever. Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, you mean no added sugar, right?
Like, no processed foods with sugar, no nothing.
But natural sugars,
Well,
of
yes,
course.
natural
Okay.
sugars, but
Like,
You said no honey and no like agave nectar
Correct.
and stuff like that too.
Those are natural.
yeah,
To
but
each
there's
their
so
own.
much of them, though. Like, I'm trying to cut back on those. Granted, I still have honey in my tea because
You're not a
how else
monster.
are you supposed to drink tea? But, like, the people that I watched the video on, it was a BuzzFeed video. Like, they were doing, like, minimal fruits and just, yeah. No. That's way too much for my little chubby body to handle. Baby steps.
You need fruit. Fruit is happy vegetables.
I picked Dominic up from school yesterday and goes, Mommy, did you get my fruit? It's like, no, dude, we're going to the store this weekend. You will have fruit. Don't worry. I've already got him addicted. Awesome.
Score.
That's what our mom would do. I can say our mom because Nick's here.
Yay!
It's like,
Enthusiasm.
Yay.
well, like if we're eating a bunch of grapes or a bunch of oranges or something, we're allowed to eat as much as we wanted of those.
Nice.
She just that's the end of the
Yeah,
story.
he was very mad at me because he asked for grapes the other night. And I was like, dude, we don't have any grapes. He's like, can I have a banana? I was like, yeah, I don't have those either. Give you a strawberry popsicle. Even better, right?
Wow.
I have raisins.
No.
Ew, raisins
No,
We
raisins.
are
won't do
gross.
raisins.
Good, because they're gross.
Okay.
Well, on that note,
I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah, I like raisins, but raisins are nasty.
You like craisins.
Yes.
I really thought you said I like raisins, but raisins are nasty. I was very taken aback by
so how's that medication going?
You saw her shimmy.
It's great. It's
Oh
great.
my
It's so
God.
fine. Yay!
Yay!
All right. Well, no sugar. What do you
Yeah.
have to present to us today?
How do you guys feel about Disney?
Ooh.
Love Disney.
Just Disney as a whole. How do you feel? Give me your feelings.
Oh, I like your Peter Pan shirt.
I'm sensing a theme. I like Disney.
I
Yeah.
love Disney.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Disney.
Are you
Yeah.
going
That's
to
not true.
ruin things for us?
Yes.
I mean, not everyone is an animation fan, and that's fine. They're wrong, but it's fine.
My daughter loves Disney. We jam out to Disney music every night. So and
Every night?
every night I
Kudos.
turn on the music while we're playing, and we dance, and I sing, and she squeals, and it's great.
That's her saying, Mom, make it stop. That's not her enjoying
Oh
it.
my God, Mom, you're so embarrassing.
She
Right.
can't vocalize that yet, so
So she
she's got a
squeals.
deal.
Fair.
So why the question about Disney?
You guys want to hear some Disney conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so some of these are conspiracy theories. Some of them are just questionable things that have happened. Just follow along with me. I've got theories on Disney himself, on the parks, and then some about movies.
Ooh. Do you bring up the Little Mermaid cassette tape cover?
The dick?
Yeah, because I have that.
That was a
One
jump.
room over. I have the original cassette that has the
That
dick in
wasn't
the
a
castle.
conspiracy. Was that a conspiracy?
No, it's just
Well,
like
the whole
a
thing.
weird.
We'll get it. We'll get
Okay.
there. We'll get
Okay.
there.
All right. We can
So-
post a picture of that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Disney has no copyrights.
It's fine. If we zoom in close enough on the penis, it doesn't count.
Speaking of, you gotta be careful broadcasting. You have that because a bunch of these movies were recalled and supposed to be turned in.
Really?
I have
This got interesting.
nothing, and we're not gonna take a picture and post it on our blog.
We'll just find one on the
Online,
internet somewhere.
yeah.
Right.
Copyright laws.
All right. So the first thing we're gonna start off with, like I said, is Disney himself.
Hello.
Many people believe that Walt Disney.
Was a Nazi?
That's my third one. Stop it. The first thing is that he was a member of the Freemasons and or the Illuminati.
Ooh.
Ooh. Right. right?
Why, like, what?
And that Club 33, which is an Can we have like a real truth moment here? I
Sure.
literally was sitting at Panera finishing these notes before I drove over here, so I actually haven't had a chance to read through them yet. So bear with me.
Oh, fun.
So they believed that he was a member of the Freemasons, and some people also say the Illuminati. And that Club 33, which is an extremely exclusive club in the New Orleans Square of Disneyland in Anaheim, California, that cost upwards to $100,000 initiation fee.
The fudge?
So just to get into the club, you have to pay a $100,000 initiation fee if you're accepted, and then a $50,000 annual fee after that.
What?
So to join the club, it costs you $150,000 if you're accepted. So you have to pay the $100 initiation fee just to have them consider you.
What is Club 33?
If you get accepted, it's $50,000 a year after that.
Wow.
It's just an exclusive club that's in Disneyland that you have to be a member of to go into. It's a restaurant, club, bar, but there's very little information about it because it's an exclusive membership only kind of place.
Can I just say my new goal in life is to have enough money to where that's just like
Right.
something I do
Yes, I
without
was
thinking about it?
This is a real thing.
This is a real, you can see it.
Yeah. How
when you're
how is
in
this related?
Disneyland.
How is this related to the Freemason and Illuminati?
Because they believe that it was originally built as a secret meeting location.
Ooh.
And that Disney, because his apartment was in Disneyland off of Main Street, built this as a meeting location to where it wouldn't be questionable for him to be going to. And it has now become an exclusive club.
I bet the Kardashians are members.
Katy Perry,
Oh.
Elton John,
Oh, I love
Tom
Elton.
Hanks.
Mm.
The Kardashians have no souls. They don't go to Disney. They don't want to be
They
happy.
do go to Disney.
I feel like Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks should just be initiated.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause he's
Woody.
he's Woody.
So the exclusive nature of the club, coupled with the fact that 333 is the highest ranking in the Freemasons, which many people believe that Disney was the 333rd ranking in the Freemasons, have led people to believe this rumor. People also claim that they have found Freemason symbols hidden throughout the park with the hidden Mickeys. So there's pictures, which we will share, that you can find the Freemason symbol hidden in different ways throughout the park. One of them's like an awning coming down on a building with a cross underneath it. And so they're got to take them with a grain of salt on whether it's a Freemason symbol or not.
Yeah.
But also the fact that people could find the Freemason symbol in these buildings
That's
is kind of questionable.
wicked. Okay.
The next one is around Walt Disney's mom guilt.
Mom guilt?
His mom guilt.
Is that why all the moms die in Disney movies?
Precisely. So we all know that most Disney characters are not very lucky in the parental department. Many believe, and it's been speculated by many producers that were close with Disney himself, that Walt Disney did this because of his own heartbreaking guilt. When Disney began to rise to fame in the early 30s, he bought his parents a new home. He was so excited to share it with them that he moved them in before the furnace was properly installed.
Uh-oh.
On November 26, 1938, Walt Disney's mother was found dead by gas poisoning.
Oh, no.
He has always blamed himself for her death, and many believe that this plays a large role in the motherless characters because he didn't want to face his own guilt. So you very, very rarely see mother and son interactions in Disney movies, let alone mother interactions as a whole.
That's really sad. Ashley, give us something happy.
You want to hear about Nazis?
That's the right direction we go with that one.
Damn.
So I think most people have heard that Walt Disney himself was a supporter of Nazis.
I feel like that's a rumor that has been spread. Significant figures at that time. Oh, they supported the Nazi party.
Right. Yeah, I think that was a lot, like you said, back in that time, is anyone that had money, they figured they supported the Nazi party.
Cheers. Sorry. Continue.
You good?
Yep.
Nazis get you a little excited there?
No. I wanted to beat up the table instead of some Nazis.
Taking out our Nazi aggression on our table.
Yes.
Our red table.
Oh.
So one of the most popular theories surrounding Disney is that Disney was an active Nazi sympathizer. This is despite the fact that Disney would go on to create several different propaganda cartoons attacking Nazism for the United States during World War II, although most of those have been hidden where you can't find them now, which I found quite interesting. Art Babbitt accused Disney of meeting frequently with the German-American Bund, which fanatically supported Adolf Hitler.
Did they meet in Club 33? Three.
Doesn't say where they met.
Three. What was it?
33.
33. Cool.
33, yeah.
Just 33. There's 333 rankings
Got it.
to the
Okay.
Freemasons, but it's Club 33.
Numbers are fun.
Right? Disney was also accused of being a Nazi for seeing Leni Riefenstahl when she was promoting her movie Olympia about a 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin. He offered up his apartment in Disneyland to her.
Oh.
And she was a very big Nazi supporter.
Oh.
So it's mostly been promoted now to most people our age because of shows like Family Guy and Robot Chicken that have shown him as a Nazi.
That's where I get all my news.
What?
Robot Chicken?
Robot Chicken and Family
Nice.
Guy.
A little bit of American Dad thrown in there. That's fine.
But most people believe that the rumor initially started due to a mural that is in one of the hotels on Disney World's property where Walt Disney contacted this painting group, this mural group, and asked them to paint a mural. And he wanted it to be Great Gatsby themed to show like the lavishness and luxury that you could have when you came to Disney.
Okay.
Well, the mural group being a protester, the guy that came out to paint, he was very much trying to get the word out about what was actually going on in the world with all of these wars and all of these rich people and famous people that were just laughing and carrying on in the Americas. He was trying to make a point against that. So in one of the murals that he painted, you can see an SS soldier on one of the balconies, which is still there today.
Oh.
So a lot of people think that that is where the rumor started, that Disney was a Nazi sympathizer.
All right.
But, of course, has been debunked. Disney's been recognized by, I'm going to butcher this, B'nai B'rith, which is a Jewish civil rights group in Beverly Hills, and they named him Man of the Year. He has also been known to produce multiple, like I said, anti-Nazi propaganda videos.
Good for
So-
him. I like him.
I do too. I want to like him, but I question some things.
Oh.
And then, of course, the biggest one is that Walt Disney was frozen.
Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah.
During your Thanksgiving.
On November 2nd in 1966, he was diagnosed with lung cancer. He was given 6 months to a year to live by his doctors, yet he passed 34 days later.
That escalated quickly.
Many believed that he chose to freeze himself before actually passing, since he passed away so quickly.
We know all about how to do that now.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
To Tiffany's, Rebecca, how do you say that word? Cryonics lesson. So they believe that he was frozen in 1966 after dying from the lung cancer. And many people believe that this stems from an interview with cryonics advocate Robert Nelson in an attempt to show that Disney was a supporter of the idea of cryonics. He has said multiple times that he himself did not freeze Disney, although it was discussed between the two of them. However, Disney never officially did any documentation, so his family had him cremated.
I heard that he was frozen and put in a statue in Disney.
The statue of him holding Mickey's hand?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people believe, or that he's just frozen somewhere under the park.
It's fun to think about.
So if anybody out there has any connections and he is frozen, let's bring him back. It's been long
That'd be
enough, right?
sweet. Well, as we learned, they don't have the technology yet to do that. Yet. But before we die, Disney will come back and he'll be like, I'm not a Nazi, bitches. It'll be great.
That's exactly what he's going to say.
It is.
Walt Disney's going to be walking around punching Nazis.
Yes. He's going to put Brad Pitt to shame. It'll be great.
back in the-
Wolfenstein the movie.
Exactly.
Back in the day, they banned men with facial hair from coming into the parks. Now they're just going to ban Nazis.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Men with long hair and
Nick
facial hair
takes
were not
personal-
allowed into the parks.
Insult to this.
Why? Why would they ban that?
Because they considered them beatniks.
All right, Nick. we need
And
to have
that
a
it
talk
didn't
about your
promote
beatnik.
the ideal picture that Disney was trying to.
Nick, you're not ideal.
I know this.
I mean, he
But
is
now they're
Thor.
partnered with Marvel, so he'd be fine, right?
Everyone is bearded in Marvel,
Right?
apparently.
I know. Trust me.
No man buns allowed.
No man buns allowed. We know that's not true because if you've ever seen DILFs at Disney, a lot of them have man buns and
I
beards.
don't follow them on Instagram
Okay.
at all.
This is
Sarcasm.
Me and Nick are sitting here like, Dilfs at Disney?
Dilfs
There's an
of
Instagram
Disney.
page called Dilfs of Disney, and people like sneak pictures of hot dads with their kids at Disney and post them on Instagram.
Look,
That's a little
After
creepy.
having a kid, let me just tell you, a man with a baby is like cream of the crop. I see my husband holding the baby and I'm like, hey, you want to have another? It's great. God, he's going to divorce me.
All right, so let's move on to our Disney parks, shall we?
Woohoo.
So has anyone ever heard of Celebration Florida?
No.
No.
One.
Nick,
See, this is why we need
This
Nick.
is a podcast.
You have
Podcast.
to, like, verbalize.
Nodding does
True.
not work.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of it because I've been very interested in like all of the abandoned Disney projects.
Oh.
Because there's been a lot of
There's
them.
been multiple
There's
of
been
them.
a lot of them.
Really?
And a lot of them even on that Orlando campus. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of places that are completely
I'll
abandoned.
let you take over that topic.
God,
Celebration
You
Florida.
sound like an experienced DJ host.
That's because
like,
I am.
Oh.
What, with his mic? I told you, Mike envy.
It's just the way that he like forms his words and talks, and I'm like, how we're related? How are we related?
It's just you have to enunciate more when you're in a microphone. Well, on a microphone. Using a microphone. That.
I feel better.
He's not an experienced radio
There
DJ.
can't be four of you with social anxiety. That would just be bad.
No.
Then your family line would just end at the four of you. That's how you're related.
Yeah. Luckily, our sisters got that taken care of.
Okay, good to know. I'll just store that one for later conversation.
I know the only reason I'm saying that is because she's the only one that's married.
There's still time. You're only what, 20? God, you're 21.
No, he's 22.
22.
Oh, so much better.
22.
I still have a decade on you.
Fun.
I willfully chose not to participate.
So,
That's your
this
loss.
is the world.
Round. That's a pretty sweet earth.
Earth? Look at the earth.
Look at that earth. Fucking kangaroos.
Just
So let's get back on
like,
track.
spot the difference.
Disneyland.
Oh, it's a kangaroo.
All right, so Celebration, Florida. All right, in 1994, construction began on the town of Celebration, a Florida town based on a 1950s utopia. Disney goes as far as spreading leaves in the fall
That sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard of this
and
before.
pumping in fake snow in the winter.
Sweet.
The town's 7,427 residents must adhere to a forced set of rules and could be fined for minor infractions such as grass growing too high or not taking down holiday decorations on the specific day
So HOA from hell.
that they are told to take them down. Basically, it's a actual functioning town that they want to look like Disney World.
Wait, this is... I thought you meant like it was some theme park.
No.
No, this is like a real town?
It's a real town
What the hell?
with a pharmacy, a grocery store, a doctor's office, which keep that in mind.
Okay.
It is an actual town called Celebration, Florida that Disney purchased and built to be like this utopian town.
I am
Okay.
far too lazy to make sure I take down decorations by a certain time.
However, Disney has been accused of cutting corners wherever they could, and many of the homes are now falling apart because they put out so much promotion and so much hubbubaloo about this town that they rushed to get it done and rushed to sell the homes. The homes cost upwards to $150,000.
At what time?
$250,000 in 1994.
Oh.
Okay.
So they have been accused of cutting corners wherever they could. Many of the townhomes are now falling apart, including collapsing roofs, patios, porches completely coming off of the homes, mold growth that can't be controlled, and many of the residents have now gathered in a lawsuit against Disney due to the unsuitable living conditions. And they have all been forced when they purchased the homes to sign contracts to abide by the rules and to stay there for X amount of time.
We don't know what that X amount of time is.
Each contract is
Oh,
probably
okay.
different.
Do they all have like white picket fences? Because I just picture like...
I could only find pictures of like the town, and it literally looks like you're walking down Main Street.
Okay.
But I couldn't find any pictures of the homes, and I also couldn't find any information on like the businesses, which I thought was really
That is
weird.
really weird.
Like they're
Like-
Disney operated businesses or
Like
something.
you'd think there'd be pictures of that all over the place.
Well, you can find pictures. But like trying to find, like I tried to go in and find out like who's the doctor that works in Celebration, Florida. And I found information from like 1994, the doctor that worked there and the pharmacist that worked there. But after that, there's nothing. And I highly doubt that it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
And nothing's happened in that city of note since then.
That's a little creepy.
all right.
I'm down. I'd still move there.
What was the population of this city?
7,500 roughly, 7,427
It's pretty significant.
residents.
Yeah.
That's a little less than what we had here in this town in 2015.
Yeah, it's a pretty, I mean, it's a town. But you got to think, though,
Significant
like,
number
this is not that big of a
In
town.
1999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where you live is not
Yeah.
that large. So it makes sense that we could have, like, we have our main street here.
Yeah.
That's what they have there. And then just homes surrounding it that are all under the same, it's like one giant neighborhood.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be the host of like a movie set or something.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
a
I'm
Hallmark
picturing.
movie.
Yeah.
Or
like
Disney movie.
Well, yes, but I was picturing like a bigger Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls.
That's about right. Like I said, they were going for like a 1950s utopian land, village, town
Thing.
thing. Words are hard.
1950s?
That was their aim, is kind of like the whole mindset behind
Okay.
Gotcha.
this village. So now we're moving more into the parks themselves.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about the bellhop that haunts the Tower of Terror.
Ooh.
Twilight Zone Tower of Terror in Disney is home to the legend of the ghost of the bellhop. The story goes that there are 4 towers on the Tower of Terror: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta.
Okay.
One of the bellhops was loading passengers onto the ride on platform D or Delta, and he just suddenly dropped dead.
Oh, no.
The cause of his death is unknown, but was ultimately ruled a heart attack. Now, bellhop cast refuse to ride on platform D alone. When they're closing the ride, don't look at me in that tone of voice, young lady. When they are closing the ride, they're responsible for riding through to the end to make sure that everything's in working order. Usually just one person will ride through, and the other cast members will be responsible for working the controls or watching the cameras. But when it comes to platform D, there's an agreement among the cast members to never let anyone on the elevator by themselves. It always has to be 2 or more.
Why?
Why? What is happening?
This is because the Delta elevator is haunted.
I gathered that. What's happening?
Lights will flicker on and off or turn off altogether.
Okay.
Props will be moved out of place or the ride will stop.
Ew, no.
That's it?
One story says that 2 cast members were riding through at the end of the day when the lights went out and the ride stopped, but the cast members operating the cameras never saw any interruptions and believe the ride was going through according to plan.
Oh, okay. That's scary.
Weird.
Bellhops also claim to see a shadowy figure lurking around the boiler room where the guests are loaded on, and sometimes even on the ride. There's video evidence of a maintenance man riding the elevator with a ghostly figure, but YouTube has since removed the video.
Dang it, I was about to pull it up.
Or did Disney make them remove it?
Okay, now I do believe that Disney has a lot of power, and they're like, that I don't like, get rid of it. So, yeah.
So Disney is very particular about their brand.
I mean, I would be too if I had a brand that big and all that jazz.
I wish I meant to take it down. I think they made something like $8.7 billion just in the parks last year.
Huh. Well,
Jeez.
they're hurting for money.
Right? Poor Disney.
Maybe I
It's
could.
probably a small portion of it too.
That's
know,
just in
right?
the parks.
Yeah.
It doesn't include the movies and the merchandise and
Merchandise.
us talking about them, and we'll probably get fined. / the Illuminati's going to come after us.
Of
It's
course,
fine.
because he was a member.
See? I'm telling you, it
Yeah.
all comes back together.
That I would not be surprised by.
However, there's no record of a bellhop or anyone, for that matter, dying on the Tower of Terror.
I've ridden the Tower of Terror.
This is in Disneyland.
Oh, not in Disney World.
See, a lot of these I found were Disneyland, so I'm like, cool, Disney World's straight.
Sweet.
We're good.
Good.
That's where I always go.
Well, Disney World is newer.
Not by, I don't remember the exact dates, but not by that much.
Look, I like East Coast because it's cheaper to get there.
Yes.
Yes. That's,
Yes.
That's
One
what I'm
state
all about.
down. I
Yeah.
still want to go to Disneyland, but
I
if
mean-
I'm going anywhere, it'll probably be Disney World, so I can go to Universal Studios and go to Harry Potter World. Let's be real here.
Uh-huh.
But really.
So, our next story is about the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Ooh.
Is Johnny Depp there?
No.
No.
Is this is the one in Disney World? Question mark.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
they have, the ride is at both. but this one in particular focuses on Disney World.
Ooh, yes.
Period.
All right. Alrighty.
So are there actually dead bodies spread across the most popular ride and the happiest place on Earth?
The fudge?
In the 1960s, when the park was built, the skeletons that were being built for the ride looked too fake. So rumor has it that they contacted the medical center at UCLA. Oh no, this is Disneyland. I apologize.
Ooh.
And had them send...
Nick looks so disappointed.
Disney World does come into play here, though. And had them send over real skeletons from people on death row that donated their bodies to science. So when the ride opened, all of the skeletons were real.
Didn't we discuss something along those lines during H.H. Holmes? How, like, the skeletons were used in science?
I don't know if
because
we referenced
fake-
Disney, but
No,
we did.
didn't.
Yeah, that's how he got how he was able to sell his cadavers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so many people, like, fake skeletons at that time weren't
a
up
thing.
to par. They weren't able to use them like they could an actual skeleton.
Okay.
Over the years, the Imagineers got much better at casting the skeletons, and the real ones were replaced. Or were they?
Ooh.
Where would they have gone?
They would have walked away.
Yep. They just...
Sprinkle some Disney magic on them and they just like ding, 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 ding.
You can't just leave pixie dust out.
Disney magic is
No.
real.
Pixie dust would have made them just fly away. This is just Disney magic.
Disney magic. Have you ever been to Disney World?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've experienced Disney magic before.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I hate you.
Well, we've experienced the Disney experience.
That's Disney magic.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You make the exact same noise as your sister.
I learned from the best. Actually, I take that back. I taught her.
Sorry.
That's not how that works.
Oh, come on now.
So people say that there are real skeletons on the ride to this day. However, the only one that the cast members will confirm is the one above the captain's bed in Disneyland. Some say that the skull and crossbones was personally donated by one of the original cast members or Imagineers that worked on the ride, and he wanted to be immortalized through the ride. So they have now placed his skull and his arm, his...
No,
I was going to say femurs.
That's not it.
No,
Bones.
that's either the radius or the ulna.
One of those guys.
Yeah.
In a cross position under his skull above the captain's bed in the ride.
That's
And
really cool.
Anyone you talk to, every record I've found has said that that is real in Disneyland and Disney World.
That's really
So
cool.
multiple people donated?
To at least two.
Yeah.
Can I donate my body to science with a amendment that there is going to be...
They have to go to Disney.
No, yeah, like my bones, once they're done with whatever they need, like my bones have to be sent to Disney to be used.
In the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. 'Cause
I mean-
that's the only place they have bones.
Who knows? By that time, they may have another place.
True, because it's going to be like 1,000 years before you die. You need to talk. Head shakes.
Yeah, it shakes because like.
Look, when I head shake, I bump into my pop filter, so it's fine. It makes noise. But you've got that fancy mic that doesn't do the excess noise.
He's just sitting there quietly nodding along. We're like, Nick,
Enunciate.
audio format.
Enunciate your head nod.
Nod, 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 nod.
So we know that the ones above the beds are real, but are there others? Ears Up Podcast, which is a Disney podcast,
Okay.
claims they had a specialist who was able to get a hands-on look at all of the skeletons on the ride, and they were confident enough to confirm that there were 3 others still on the ride in Disneyland, and they even shared photos to confirm it.
Oh, that's really cool.
The 3 skeletons are located. 2 are on the island on the right after the second drop, which I'm going to be real, I haven't ridden this ride in forever, so I don't know. But
Wait.
if you're a Disney fanatic,
You said in Disneyland?
Disneyland.
You've never been to that one.
No.
So,
Oh, true. But the one in Disney World I haven't ridden forever, and I think they're similar
okay.
ride-wise, setup-wise. But anyway, the one that stabbed in his back, lying next to the crab, has a real human skull, and the skeleton pinned to the wall has a real skull and rib cage. The 3rd skeleton is in the jail cell Shane.
Where are you from, Georgia?
I'm from Georgia. In the jail cell scene, the skeleton who is crushed under the beam also has a real skull and real leg bones. I'm not going to list them all out. Y'all know what parts are in a leg. I don't, but y'all do.
You're smarter than us.
Although some fanatics claim that since the article was released in 2013, the skull of the skeleton lying on his belly has been replaced and is now way less creepy and obviously fake.
Well, that's no fun.
There are also rumors of the ride in Disney World being haunted by a ghost named George.
Sorry.
Cast members believe that if you don't say, "Good morning, George," then the ride will malfunction, not run correctly all day. And if you don't say, "Good night, George," the ride will not start the next morning.
Oh.
So, haunted, tradition, however you want to say it. But
Here's
they
the
think
deal.
that it's haunted by George.
I don't like ghosts. We've all understood this. It has been established and understood. But I feel like if there were to be a ghost named George, in my mind, I just picture like a really friendly, like super chunky guy that's like, "Hey guys, I'm George. Let's hang out."
Why are you fat shaming?
I'm not fat shaming. I'm happy about this. I picture
She
somebody.
likes super chunky friends, hence the reason I've been your best friend for 20 years. I got it.
Well, this got awkward.
No, I just picture like a really happy like guy you want to just cuddle and be friends with.
See, when I heard that if you don't say good night and good morning to him, I thought of you. I was like, poor George needs validation.
Oh yeah, maybe that's why I like George so much.
and when you say good morning, he's like, "Oh, hey guys, what's up?" And he just, pitters around throughout the day. And if you don't, he's like, "All right,
Pitters around.
I got
fuck
you.
you."
Yeah. Watch this shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You think you're going to operate this ride today? Not today, motherfucker.
Just rename him Tiffany. It's fine.
Maybe George will go through a sex change eventually.
You don't know his gender.
I don't. That's very true. They don't say Mr. George. Let's see. The next note I have, and this isn't really a conspiracy because it's been proven, but all of the plants in Tomorrowland in Disneyland are edible.
What?
The landscaping, everything there is edible. And this is because, according to Disneyland's website, they wanted to promote a visionary landscaping, which would double as a potential farm, so it could be projected as an ecologically friendly future where humanity makes the most of its resources.
We need to test this.
So that just kind of goes into depth. Why did you look at Tiffany?
No, it's just like it's a real. We just need to test
Tiffany
this.
likes to eat.
Dude,
need
this
to
is true.
Where is this Disney World?
Disneyland.
Disneyland. Oh my god, if we ever go there, I'm gonna be like, "Tiffany, stop eating
Stop
the plants."
eating the plants.
Which ride
But-
is this? Because me and Nick are gonna go and
No, it's just Disneyland. It's one of the small parks. Granted, it's a smaller park.
It is.
But
wait,
it's where
the
they're-
entire.
I think that's where Space Mountain is. All of the landscaping, every plant in Tomorrowland is edible, which technically
Nick, we've got this.
just means they're not poisonous.
It's fine. Nick and I've got this.
Anything's edible if it's not poisonous,
Exactly.
right?
So,
Well, okay.
I mean, even some of the poisonous things are edible if you're adventurous enough.
valid.
I was just having a discussion about the mushrooms growing in my backyard with my husband's aunt. It's
Don't
fine.
eat
That's
the
not
mushrooms.
Poisonous and what is the word?
Venomous?
No, like makes you see things.
Hallucinogenic?
Yeah, are two different things.
Okay, cool.
Poisonous means
What
like,
mushrooms do you have growing in your yard?
Rebecca's intrigued. She's like, "Can we take a drink break so I can go look at these?"
Do you? I wouldn't know deadly mushrooms or psychedelic mushrooms
I
if
don't
they
either.
danced in front of me.
Unless they're like neon colors. Those are psychedelic.
Just both of them.
yes,
They
Both
dance
of the
in
both
front
of the
of you.
dancing ones. Those are the
Yes.
ones that you want to avoid.
the ones with the skull and crossbones that were donated, those are the deadly ones.
Yes, those go on the Pirates ride.
Got it. Done.
Give me just a second. We'll take a drink break and you can go check them out and see if they dance for you, okay?
Okay.
So did you know that you cannot die at Disneyland?
Wait, the fuck?
You
Is that
can't-
illegal
fudge-
or is it's
You
just
cannot
not?
die at Disneyland. It's impossible.
I'm confused.
What do you mean?
Wait, how do we test that?
Let's go eat their landscape and find out.
Why? The better question is, why did you look at Tiffany when you said,
Okay,
Let's
would
test
you rather
this.
me look at the table and look and say that?
it's just, that was a rather aggressive thing to say. Maybe I shouldn't have brought you
Tiffany,
here.
you want to go test that?
Knowing Tiffany, she'd be like,
We already said that I could be his friend. That's his sister, and we know he doesn't like you. So you want to go test and see if you can die at Disneyland?
Oh, that's right. You said you didn't know how you felt about me.
Wait,
So let's go to Disney and see how it pans out.
Well, cheers.
we were talking about when the when podcast first started, you're talking about what you liked and what needed to be adjusted, and you're like, yeah, I feel like I could be friends with Ashley, and I don't know what to make of Tiffany.
See,
And you never will.
the funny thing about that is I got the voices mixed up at first.
Oh,
I'm the friend.
But everyone's friendly here.
So you want to find out if you can die at Disneyland?
Sure, let's do it. Why not? Let's have fun.
to be fair, when I was listening back to some of our earlier episodes, there were times where I couldn't tell my voice apart from yours. So
It's close. It's similar.
Because it was hard to figure out who was talking.
important questions. Why can't you die at Disneyland?
oh yeah,
I will let you know.
back to this subject.
Yes.
So in 1995, expose say that Disney had a deal with local paramedics that they have
I thought you were about to say the
wait-
devil. Deal with the local devil.
That's bullet
The
6.
local devil, just the Orlando devil, the Kissimmee devil. No, this
I'm
is
sorry,
in
paramedics?
Disneyland, Anaheim devil.
This is bullet point 6. We're
So
on
it
5.
says that they had a deal with the local paramedics that they have to wait until they are off of Disney property to declare someone dead.
Oh.
One of the ex-cast members says that they were told by one of the on-staff medics that they are not allowed to let people die on site. That they must keep them alive by all means necessary until they are off Disney property.
At that point, do they just not care?
Hands up!
It's like, oh, it's the paramedics'
They're out
jobs
of
now.
the parking lot.
We don't have to worry about this anymore.
fine.
Sayonara.
I cut this man's heart out in Disneyland. However,
But I'm going to keep pumping it in my hand
Yeah.
until we get out of the parking lot.
As long as you don't disconnect it, it's fine.
Yes, there we go.
The truth is, under California law, someone can only be declared dead by a doctor, and Disney has no doctors on their staff.
Oh, so it's a technicality.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
That's really cool.
So most people will be declared dead at the local hospital.
So is that
So Disney has nurses, they have RNs, and they have EMTs that are on staff.
is it normal for an amusement park not to have doctors on staff?
I would imagine so, yeah. I mean, there's no reason. But with, like, Disney being as large as it is and having hotels and people that spend
True,
extended
yeah.
times, you
Yeah,
would
yeah.
think that they made, what, $8-point-something billion
You
last
think they could
year?
afford a
On their
doctor?
park
But they
alone.
won't because of that. Most people will speculate because of that reason.
That's really cool. I like that one.
Also, if you're ever at Disney and you hear over the mic, over the intercoms, code white powder, that means that someone has been caught trying to sprinkle ashes among the park. If you're caught sprinkling a loved one's ashes in the park, they vacuum that shit up and throw it in the trash can.
Oh no!
So as many people that say that they want their ashes spread at Disney, myself included, you're going to end up in a Disney trash can, which isn't as glamorous as it sounds.
I mean,
fine.
You're still
technically,
in-
you're
yeah.
still in Disney. Yeah.
Until the trash man comes.
No, I've got you, boo. I've
What-
got
what
you.
if you
I
miss the
have
trash
always
can?
said that I wanted to
How
go.
many haunted trash cans are there?
Not enough.
Like, it's
That's gonna be my. I'm gonna get stuck in a trash can and like grab people's hands as they're throwing away. Mickey
oh
ice
my
cream
god, that'd be
sticks.
terrifying. You're gonna throw away your wrapper and you're suddenly sucked into the trash can.
No, bitch. I said I wanted a full ice cream cone, not this half shit.
Bitch, recycle that.
Which, side note, if you ever drop your ice cream cone at Disney, go to one of the stands and tell them you dropped it, and they'll replace that shit for free.
Do you need proof that you dropped it, or can you just get another one?
Like when we went to Disney for our honeymoon, I got one of the Mickey chocolate coated ice cream things and got like halfway around the corner and dropped it because I'm a child. And I went back and I was like, she's like, it's okay, it's fine. Here, have another. And then James got an extra turkey leg because he ate it and then pulled the same card.
Oh, wow.
So he ate like
I
two
said-
quarters. He ate like however many bites out of it. And I was like, I wonder if they'd give you another one if you told him you dropped it. So I held on to it and he went back around and came back and he was like, ah!
Oh, I like
It's
him
a-
so much more now.
It's the happiest place on earth.
I got another turkey leg.
I've imagined like him super happy, like a turkey leg in each hand, just going at it.
Also, if you ever go to Disney, when you go in, tell them you're celebrating something. A birthday, a wedding, an anniversary, something, and get one of those pins. And people treat you like freaking royalty when you go in. Just a little side note on Disney trips.
This is going to end up being an episode of Disney Life Hacks.
That's
I
fine.
don't have that many, but
Aw.
that's my little, because everybody
Disney
was
life
like,
hack, how to haunt a trash
You
can."
guys are celebrating your wedding. Come on, you don't have to wait in line.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's one of
I mean,
those
granted,
things.
you have to get the right cast member and it has to be, but we got a couple little perks and we were only there for a day.
Cool.
So.
All right. Well, anyway.
My last note about the parks before we move on to movies is mind control.
Oh, I'm so excited. What is this?
Sorry. Glad one person's excited.
Tiffany was excited, and then me and Becca were both
Becca.
just confused.
Becca, I'm sorry. That's
so
really weird.
It's like me and Nick had the exact same reaction. Tiffany's like, ooh, mind control, sign me up.
So, back to as you were saying about the penis on the castle.
Oh, wait,
What?
hold on. Wait, before you continue on, let me just say if I were to be mind controlled by anybody, I'd want it to be Disney.
I thought you were about to say penis at a castle.
Well, that too.
Second note, if I had to pick an alternative, it would be penis on a castle.
Third note.
Third note, it's still really weird to hear you called Becca. So, anyway.
Yeah. All right, so we all know the tales of the inappropriate phrases and symbols in the movies of our childhood.
Yes.
Or at least I assume that we do because I say penis castle and Rebecca sounds questionable. Have you heard about all the inappropriate phrases and...
Yes, but I thought we were talking about mind control.
Well, that plays into it with the
Okay,
mind control.
okay.
So you have the penis on the castle in Little Mermaid.
You have the sex spelled out during Simba.
The Lion King.
Yeah.
You have in The Rescuers. You have the naked people that walk past the open window.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. In The Rescuers Down Under, there's a man and a woman, and the woman's like pulling the man past an open window, and they're both completely naked.
I'm going to have to rewatch this
In Aladdin,
for science.
when he
Good
goes
girls.
to visit Princess
Jasmine.
Jasmine for the first time, and
Oh, the
Raja's
brothel?
like coming after him, and he's like, "No, get down, get off me!" At some point, he says, "Good teenagers take their clothes off."
Yeah. The faces these two made were fantastic. Oh, man.
Yeah. So, oh hey, I'm so popular, guys. Sorry.
That is the first text any of us has gotten. And like, that's
It's just a reminder that I have to go to my grandma's house tomorrow. So we all know about the inappropriate things that have been slipped into movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm about to lose my spot again. This is why I don't do it on my phone. So what about the parks themselves?
Ooh, are there funky things?
They are filled with subliminal messaging and subconscious hacks designed to make the customer stay longer and dish out more money.
Fair.
The most important thing is the parks used what are self-designed by the Imagineers and named smellitizers.
what's a smellitizer?
They are designed to trick more
faces.
people into buying more food items.
So do they just like waft the smell of turkey legs throughout the park?
It pumps the smell of whatever item is sold in that area into that area. So, for instance, when you walk into the Magic Kingdom, the smell of popcorn is pumped into the
That
main
is
entrance.
genius.
When you're
Funnel
walking
cake
down,
spot? Oh my god.
It's just essential oils on steroids, really.
when you're walking down Main Street, the smell of cookies and sweets can be
Funnel
pumped
cake.
into the area. And then they also use the trick. The emporiums or the gift shops are deliberately kept at a cooler temperature, so you can get out of the fucking heat that is California and Florida.
Fair.
And also to get people to buy more merchandise such as jackets and sweaters.
To be fair, when I was in Disney World, not Disneyland because I've never been there, but I went down there to go to a Backstreet Boys concert and had a day to kill, so I went. But anyway, I spent a lot of time in gift shops because it was so freaking hot.
Right.
And
But
God, it
that's
felt so
why
nice.
they do that. It's to get people in.
I
out
spent
of
so
the
much
heat.
money. God.
It makes you spend more money because you're buying little snacks and little knickknacks. And then also, it makes you think that, like, it's going to get cold when the fireworks start. I should buy a jacket or sweater. And again, this is how Disney made almost $9 billion in the parks alone. Before we get into the movies, would you guys like to take a refill break?
Yes.
Let's go check out those mushrooms.
Yes.
Rebecca, make something up for us.
On it.
Hi! It's Caitlin Brodnick.
And Sue Smith.
And we have a new podcast called Scam Wow. The podcast about scams.
We love scams. If you think about it, everything's a freaking scam.
Honestly, America's a scam.
America is a scam, but it's not about politics, don't worry.
No. We hate politics, but we love con artists. We love,
Swindlers.
yes, criminals. Nice criminals.
Multi-level marketing.
Yeah, you could call them like powerful women, or you could call them like swindlers.
Crooks. Yeah. Anyway, listen to our new podcast, Scam Wow, on Apple Podcasts.
Wherever podcasts are sold or listened to or free.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're back.
Yeah, the mushrooms were no fun.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't work for that long.
No, they wore off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. How long has it been since we took a break, guys?
How long have our microphones been dancing?
And when did you get a Mickey head, Ashley?
It goes along with my theme. Just roll with it. Wait a second. We never poured Nick a glass of wine.
It's okay.
Those mushrooms were better than we thought.
We're a bad host.
I could just imagine the mushrooms already.
Surprise, Nick's not actually here.
I'm just using a really deep voice.
As we established, the podcast is just Rebecca in a room by herself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Turns out she found a fourth personality and named him Nick.
Thor.
Let's
get it together.
I can sound like Nick.
Rebecca, would you like a glass?
I didn't like that.
I didn't either.
That was eerily close. I guess it's genetics.
It's not genetics. Well,
You get the glass, so
Oh.
be careful.
Oh.
Tiffany found the penis Little Mermaid case, though.
I did. We're gonna
Oh,
take a
I
picture
forgot
of
to
it.
talk about the erection on the priest.
Wait,
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Go back to it.
Hold up. What?
Do you
Look
not?
in the
There's a penis.
I wonder how quickly was it for someone to point this out?
It took a while. I think it was just our fucked up generation that was like, that's a penis.
I don't know, but I'm really proud of that.
Those
And
damn millennials.
the fact that
first
my parents
one-
bought those for me makes me really happy.
The
I'm like,
first
look
one
what
that
you
was
did.
documented was the, or that I could find at least documented online, was the rescuers. And then scene where the naked people walk, not naked family. Naked couple walks past the open window.
Oh boy.
But yeah, that one was shortly thereafter, I remember, because I remember like all my friends running home and being like, I'm gonna see if my copy has it on there. Tiffany's does.
I've got a penis. I've got a penis. I've got a penis. Hey, 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 hey. You good? I'm good.
I got
Let's
10
do this.
movie
Oh, you've got 10?
conspiracies to get through.
Hold on. Wait, that we haven't already covered?
We haven't gotten
Yeah,
to the
no.
movies yet. No.
We haven't gotten to the movies. We just talked about the inappropriate references in movies.
Oh, I thought that's
That
what you were
goes
talking
along
about.
with mind control.
All right, let's do
No,
this.
these are conspiracy theories about the characters and the movies themselves.
All right.
Number one.
Number one is that Mother Gothel from Rapunzel is actually the evil queen from Snow White.
Give me some supporting detail.
The evil queen, who is known as one of the most iconic and ruthless Disney villains to ever exist. What if the evil queen had not actually died in Snow White, but instead moved far away so that she could become Mother Gothel? Entangled, the dagger in the drawer that Mother Gothel opens looks very similar to the box and dagger the evil queen gives the huntsman in Snow White.
That's not all that surprising though, because they're known for Easter eggs like that.
Yeah, but what if they're not actually Easter eggs? What if everything is actually tied together?
Okay.
There's nothing these two characters care more about than beauty and youth. The evil queen becomes insanely jealous of Snow White, the only one whose beauty surpasses her own, and Mother Gothel, on the other hand, is obsessed with maintaining her youth. Not only do these two villains have similar personalities, but they also look alike. When Mother Gothel returns to her old age at the end of Tangle, she looks just like the old hag in Snow White.
Ooh. All right.
We'll post pictures.
Wait, now we
Wait.
say that, but copyright and public domain.
We'll post pictures.
Here's a link to Disney.com.
Yes, I'll post a link to the article where I found these conspiracy theories. How about that?
There we go. Number two.
Aladdin actually takes place in a post-apocalyptic future.
I've heard this one.
I never thought of it that way.
So Disney has led people to believe that Aladdin takes place in the past. What if that's not true? A popular theory states that Aladdin is set in the future and can be proven by a handful of hints dropped by the genie in the movie. When the genie is given Aladdin
Give me something Robin Williams. What do you got?
When the genie is giving Aladdin a makeover, he declares that his fez and vest combo is much too 3rd century.
Oh.
Also, the genie announces that he's been locked in the lamp for 10,000 years. This means that Aladdin is set in the year 10,300 at the earliest. Aladdin, taking place in the future, can explain why there's so many magical elements in the movies, like the flying carpet. Apparently, advanced technology has been hidden in the Cave of Wonders because people want to keep it safe from the nuclear war that turned the world into a big, empty desert. There's an alternate theory, and it states that Aladdin takes place in the past because Belle is reading a book about him in The Beauty and the Beast.
I like that one. Can we go with that one? Sorry. I like that one a lot.
Another theory claims that the entire story of Aladdin is actually made up by the merchant in the beginning of the movie because he's just trying to sell you an old lamp.
Oh, okay, well, that's most likely the case. But I really like the Beauty and the Beast theory.
I thought you might. Well, then you'll enjoy this one.
Yes. Number 3.
Yes.
That Belle and Jane from Tarzan are related.
Ooh, yes. Okay, let's do this. I've also heard the theory that... Wait,
no.
Never mind. I'll let you get...
We'll finish, and then if you guys have any additional ones to
Can I write
pepper
that down in case it doesn't come up?
Can you? I don't know. Are you able?
Hold on. Open up a text message to Rebecca and Ashley.
So these iconic characters have more things in common than you think. Not only do Belle and Jane both wear yellow dresses, they also have an eccentric father, which...
So do I. Am I related?
Maybe.
Do you have a yellow
Another
dress?
similarity between these two characters is that they both have a thing for wild men. Hey, me too.
Okay, me too. Let's do this.
Family member here. And a passion for civilizing those men. Belle figured out a way to communicate with the beast, just like Jane was able to communicate with the beastly Tarzan.
None of this helps with the relation.
Have you ever noticed the tea set that Jane and her father...
Yes.
Yes.
I have. I got really excited about that.
It's the same tea set that Mrs. Potts and Chip got turned into in The Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Yeah, because Easter eggs.
No, Rebecca. Let us
But
roll
where
with
do
this.
Easter eggs come into play? Like, why are these coming into play if all of these movies aren't somehow connected?
Because an animator goes, this will drive them nuts.
Rebecca,
That's all it takes, really.
calm down. Let me have this moment.
If Jane is really the great-great-great-granddaughter of Belle and the Beast, it would explain why they look alike and why she carries those antiques from her family members.
And why she has a yellow dress.
That's a bit of a stretch. The
Let
yellow
me
dress
have
one
it.
is a bit of a stretch, but again, if you look at pictures of them side by side, they are eerily similar.
Because most of the princesses in Disney don't look similar.
They don't. Look at Merida and Cinderella. Those bitches look nothing alike.
Merida wasn't a princess.
Yes, she was.
Okay, well,
Merida. Got it. Okay.
here's the deal. Merida wasn't necessarily a princess in the same way that Megara wasn't a princess because she married a god.
Merida was a princess. Her
Merida
mother and
from
father
Brave.
From Brave. Her mother, I mean, I guess the princess equivalent.
Yeah,
Her
but it
mom
wasn't
and dad
necessarily
were-
a princess. She was like the clan leader's daughter.
Number 4.
I'm glad you're keeping track. So, all Pixar movies are in the same universe.
I think I've heard this one.
Yeah. According to John Negroni,
Yep.
14 Pixar movies all exist in the same universe. Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, WALL-E, and Brave are all included in this theory. The timeline begins with Brave, which is set in the Dark Ages, and ends with Monsters, Inc., which takes place around the year 4500. The films are seeking to illustrate the connection between humans, animals, and the environment. Negroni's well-thought-out and comprehensive theory connects all the movies together into one cohesive timeline and main themes. If you go to pixartheory.com, you can get much more information on this, but I'm not diving into all of it right now.
Quick question before you move on.
Yes.
Monsters, Inc.
Yes.
They go through doors
Yes.
into the human world, and it looks present day.
Yes.
If that's the end, WALL-E, if you see the humans there, completely not like they are in Monsters, Inc. Explain.
Time travel.
Or should I go to PixarTheory.com?
The doors go into the past.
Yeah, the doors travel forward and backward in the future into the...
Do they describe that or like explain that anywhere?
I mean, that's the only way that would make sense.
Let me get to theory number 8.
Okay.
And we're
Hold
on.
that thought.
We just finished 4.
Yes.
And we're
Okay.
on to 5.
All right, let's do this.
Bing Bong from Up is not dead.
I hope this. You know what? We'll say this one's true. Please say this one's true. I cried my eyes out like a little baby.
In case you didn't notice, Bing Bong is a character who was left out of the marketing for the film leading up to its release. The reason for this is because Pete Docter, director of Inside Out, wanted Bing Bong and his death to be a total surprise. Many people were shocked and heartbroken when they found out that Bing Bong sacrificed himself in order to save Joy.
Spoiler alert.
That's your own damn fault if you're that far behind in Disney movies.
He didn't die,
But
though.
what if he's not dead?
He was just left in the pit. He didn't... Did he fade away?
It's supposed to be like he suffocated and died into the pit. What if he's actually a monster from Monsters, Inc.?
What?
That Riley saw as a little girl and assumed he was imaginary. He is known for making Riley laugh, which is exactly what the monsters do to get powers at the end of the movie. Also, his animal-like appearance fits in with the way the monsters look in Monsters, Inc. If he really is a monster, that would mean Bing Bong is alive and well.
Number 6.
It's a well. Okay, so it's a stretch, but I really want him to be alive, so I'll roll with it.
All right.
I've done a lot less to justify things in my real life, so we'll roll with it.
Toy Story 3 is actually an allegory for the Holocaust.
Oh, shit.
Oh, boy.
Think about it. Go through the scenes. Getting trapped in the daycare. The furnace.
Oh, shit. Oh.
The compactor and the furnace at the dump.
Oh, shit.
This got dark.
Yeah.
Jordan Hoffman, a film critic, points out that Toy Story 3 has many parallels to the Holocaust. In the movie, the toys are left behind, just as the host nations left behind the Jews as the Third Reich conquered Europe. Just like Anne Frank, the toys find themselves headed for the attic, but mistakenly wind up on the curb with the trash. They are sent to Sunnyside Daycare, which actually represents a concentration camp. The newcomers are bashed and abused in the caterpillar room by non-age appropriate children, where they're eventually thrown into the trash chute. Remember the sad scene where the toys accept their fate and hold hands as they're headed to the giant incinerator?
Yeah.
At the last minute, the toys are saved by aliens, who obviously represent the Allies. In the end, the protagonists relocate to a place where many of their kind already lived and have established foothold.
That one makes me really sad.
Because that movie wasn't sad enough. You're welcome.
When you said Toy Story 3, I immediately got sad, but you made it worse.
7?
Are we on number 7?
We're on number 7.
Shit. Okay. Let's roll.
This one's already sad because it involves the movie Up.
Oh, no.
Aw.
Oh, I haven't seen this one, so let's roll.
You
Are
haven't
you
seen
kidding
Up?
me?
How do you not see Up?
Okay. Well, then, spoiler alerts. And next time you need a cry day, just watch the first 5 minutes.
I've heard the first, 10 minutes will make you cry like a baby.
Yes. Yes, it will.
That's how we get
It's
Nick to
great.
cry.
That's how we get him to talk.
All right, so Carl from Up actually died in the beginning of the movie. You better grab a box of tissues before you listen to this fan theory. The movie Up shows Carl Fredricksen falling in love, growing old, and eventually losing his wife. When he's 78 years old, he decides that it's finally time for him to fulfill a lifelong dream. He ties thousands of balloons to his house and flies away to a South American wilderness. Carl finds out that the little boy named Russell is aboard the balloon-powered house. What if none of this was actually real? According to the theory, Carl died in his sleep the night before he was headed to Shady Oaks. The adventure he goes through in the movie is actually his journey into the afterlife. This would make Russell his guardian angel. In the end of the movie, Carl and Russell return to the city, and this is just supposed to show that Carl finally made it safely to heaven.
Aw.
Sorry. I have no opinions because I haven't seen the movie, and the only reaction was oh.
That's the only way you can process that, because that movie is rough, and then you think about it in that frame, and it's even rougher.
When Tiffany actually sees it, she's gonna bawl the entire time.
How have you not seen that movie?
Okay, so one of the reasons I haven't seen it is because everybody tells me I'm gonna bawl like a baby, and shocker, I've been going through a lot lately.
Then you should have watched that movie. It is like epic cry day movie.
Yeah, but cry days, sometimes you need cry days to be cathartic, and I've had cry days because I'm not in the right headspace. They're different cry days.
Okay, well, next time you need I just need to get this out cry day, which isn't going to happen for a while because you're kind of emotionally all over the place.
Number 8.
But next time you need one, let me know.
Gotcha.
I love you. So our next theory is that Boo is actually the witch from Brave. Boo from Monsters, Inc. is actually the witch from Brave.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
I have
Have you?
not.
Yeah.
So many people find this theory very hard to believe, but there's no way anyone can deny the fact that it actually makes a lot of sense. If you've already watched Brave, then you know that the witch can magically disappear when she goes through doorways. This should sound familiar because Boo is also capable of teleporting through doors. The reason why some fans don't believe this theory is because Brave takes place hundreds of years before Monsters, Inc. This may seem a little far-fetched, but what if Boo has the ability to go back in time by walking through a door?
Well, according to the theory that everything in the Pixar universe is one continuous timeline and the monsters go back in time through the doors.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
All right.
Also, make sure that you pay
Again,
close
Nick,
attention.
you gotta verbalize your nods.
Nod.
Nod, nod,
Right,
nod.
Yes, nod. Also, make sure that you pay close attention to the carvings in the witch's workshop, where you can see a picture of Sully, even though he won't exist for a few more centuries.
Easter eggs. They're there for a reason.
Yes,
This is exciting.
They're there for a reason because everything is tied together.
Number 9.
Oh, Rebecca. Becca.
Yes.
Oh, Becca. Andy's mom is actually Emily,
Emily.
that owned Jessie.
Ah.
When Jessie was first introduced in Toy Story 2, fans knew her as the cowgirl with a fear of getting abandoned. Her old owner, Emily, had neglected her for years and then tossed her into a donation bin. It takes a long time, but Jessie learns to trust again, and she's very happy to become Andy's new toy. The problem with this emotional and heartbreaking story is that Jessie never really gets any closure. One very popular fan theory claims that Andy's mom is actually Emily, all grown up. Remember the red hat Andy wears whenever he's playing with Woody?
It's Jessie's hat.
Jessie and her original owner have the exact same hat. Is this going to be the third episode in a row that we cry?
I have a love-hate relationship with Toy Story because I cried like a baby giving away my toys because I was like, they know what I'm doing. I got way too emotional. I felt like they were real. Part of the reason Ashley and I played Barbies until we were 16 years old because we're super cool is because I could not give up the fact that they were our friends.
I cried. I called Tiffany and I was like, tell me if it's okay for me to do this. We were in our 20s at this point. Easily in our 20s, and I still had our duffel bag of Barbies that we used to play with tucked away in my closet.
I can see the duffel bag in my head right now. It's
One of James's coworkers, family members' house had burned down, and she had 2 girls that were like 4 and 6, and they lost everything.
They needed the Barbies.
So I called Tiffany, and I was like, is it okay if I do this?
Oh, God.
Tiffany came to my house to tell them bye.
How old were you?
Toy Story fucked me up.
We both took out the dolls. Like, we each had our own, like, Barbie doll that was our doll and our own Ken doll that was our doll.
Mine was Angel.
And we took them out. And mine
Oh my
was
God, you were a
Roxy.
Buffy fan.
No, I wasn't.
No.
Mine was just named Angels. Hers was Roxy. And for a brief time, you went by Brooks.
Okay.
But
said
we both
goodbye.
took out our dolls and we were like,
Toy Story
It was
traumatized us.
Are we on number 9 or
Number
10?
10.
Number 10.
Frozen, Tangled, The Little Mermaid, and Tarzan are all connected.
Oh, that note I took earlier said Tarzan Frozen.
'Kay.
So we're good.
There's a lot of evidence proving that these 4 popular movies, notice I said 4, in case anyone's curious,
Gotcha.
As she holds up 3 fingers.
3.
are all connected in some way. The theory starts off stating that Rapunzel is Anna and Elsa's cousin. This can explain why Rapunzel and Flynn were at Elsa's coronation. It was on the way to Rapunzel's wedding that Anna and Elsa's parents were shipwrecked. Their ship is the one that Ariel sees at the beginning of The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Now, this is when the theory takes an interesting turn. Instead of dying, they washed up on an island and gave birth to a son named Tarzan. His parents were later killed by a leopard, and this would mean that Tarzan is the brother of Anna and Elsa and the cousin of Rapunzel. This would be a little hard to believe because it's a confusing timeline, but it's still an interesting theory. However, if you look at the movies and you look at the original authors of the stories, it actually lines up with the exception of Tarzan. So, and I'm going to misplace the locations. So Entangled, I don't know what city it's actually supposed to take place in, but if you look at the architecture, the decorations, and the clothing, it's very German, which falls back in line with the original author of Rapunzel.
Okay.
You look at Frozen, which is supposed to take place in a bottle of wine later is not the best place to try and remember what I saw in a YouTube video. Somewhere north of Germany. It's Arendelle, but it's based on a city somewhere north of Germany. And then you have The Little Mermaid, which was originally by a author from Denmark. So that means that they would have to have come from Arendelle down to Germany, which means they would pass through Denmark, where their ship sank, which is where The Little Mermaid is located.
How did they end up in Africa?
That part, like I said, with the exception of Tarzan. Is that Africa that Tarzan takes place?
That's where the gorillas are. Where are gorillas?
Well, are they like elephants? Are there Asian?
Frozen is a Danish story.
Thank you.
Thought so.
So there's that.
Where does
Hey, if I can
Tarzan.
Google in silence, you can Google in
I
silence,
can't?
woman.
Yeah, it's Africa. I don't know how they end up in Africa, but you know, she's pregnant. She's buoyant. She floats.
Okay.
I don't know.
And we solved the mystery
That's
of the
why
universe.
she had a buoy.
A buoy.
Rebecca's got jokes.
I don't, though.
That was wonderful.
However, the Tarzan theory has been debunked. Because if you look at the movie where they like show the picture of the family with him as a baby,
It's very much Victorian.
well, it's Victorian, and they wouldn't have had a photographer on either a deserted island or the boat when they gave birth to the baby. So
Look, if Van Gogh can do a self-portrait.
it's a portrait. It's not a painting. It's a photo.
No, it doesn't have to be a photo. It could be...
Go watch Tarzan. It's
Look,
a photo.
It's a photo.
It could be photorealism.
It's a photo.
It's a photo.
Both of you can back off. All right? All right? Look, me and Thor are on the same boat. I'm only saying he's on my boat because he's been very
quiet.
silent.
See, this is what happens when you don't talk.
You just get dragged into things.
I'm just listening to the conversation here, really.
It's interesting. To
It is
actually
very
be
entertaining
here.
because there's so many things happening at one time. It's hard to talk.
Poor Becca has to edit all of this.
Yeah, it's a very long episode.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. The next one will be short. It's fine. Wait, who records after Ashley? Oh, yeah, me. Oops.
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 But yeah, so that's a little insight to the
Yay!
underground twisted side of Disney.
So if we all disappear, Disney did it.
when you wish upon a
star.
star,
Isn't that on
Disney
your
will
tattoo?
Make you go afar. What?
When you wish upon a star. Isn't that on your left shoulder?
It is indeed.
Woo, woo, woo.
I'd just like to take a note and say that it's interesting that Disney employees are called cast members.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the engineers and technicians are called Imagineers.
Isn't it
I've always found it fun.
And you also
Is
notice,
that your entire comment?
like little
Yes.
quirks?
Yes.
Disney cast members are not allowed to point.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's considered rude. They have to usher with their whole hand.
Oh.
So if someone's like, where's the restroom? They can't be like, bitch, it's right there. They're like, ma'am, it's right here. Conveniently for your necessity.
Actually, in my mind, I picture you wanting to be a Disney princess, but at the same time,
not a princess. I would like to be a cast member.
But at the
not a
same time,
princess.
I could see you being like, bitch, hold up. I've answered your question 4 times. Like, now I'm pointing and saying rude words. You need to GTFO
pretty much
of this park.
Ideally, yes, that would be a wonderful thing, but I should really just be a member of the Death Eaters in Harry Potter world. If we're gonna do it.
I don't support Voldemort, but you bitches are
You
a
need
lot
to
of
shut the
fun to
fuck
hang
up.
out with, so why
But
not?
me and Bellatrix would have a good night, okay?
Ooh, she is pretty. Oh.
That's not,
Not
where
quite
my
where I
brain
was
went.
going with it, but okay.
It's fine. That's where my mind went. So, anyway.
So yeah, Disney is not as sweet and innocent as everyone thinks it's actually is. I'm curious if any of that stuff's actually true.
So I've seen, obviously, the penis on the My Little Mermaid.
That you brought in here.
Yes. I've also
Tiffany
seen the
is
naked...
super sensitive to wherever there's penises.
It's accurate. But I've also seen the naked people in The Rescuers Down Under.
I'm going to need to see if that's on Netflix tonight. Guess what we're watching tonight, Nick?
Well,
Probably
they have edited all of this stuff.
no.
Yes.
Yeah, so you
Since
need an
people,
original.
once somebody like realizes what's going on, they edit it. Like I think whenever Simba flops down in The Lion King and sex is spelled out in the dust cloud, I think they edited that too. But I have the original right there with a VHS player in this room.
Supposedly, with The Lion King, it doesn't say sex. It says SFX for the special effects team that worked on the Lion King movie.
Oh,
That's the way they tried to cover it up, at least.
well, they did a shit job.
Yeah, no.
It says
We know what they said.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That was intentional. That was
was.
intentional.
So, yeah, you have to find original copies. I don't know if I have The Rescuers or not, but yeah, I have The Little Mermaid.
We do. Well, Mom and Dad do.
Is it an original?
It's a VHS.
The Rescuers, the ones with the little mice.
Yes.
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 Oh,
Original or Down Under?
The
Down
Rescuers 2, I think
that's
is
Down
the
Under.
one. Yeah.
can you guys bring that next time? Because I have a VHS player.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Your job now is to find those when you go home.
Fair enough.
Because you don't have enough on your plate with school starting all over again. Find
Yes.
the original Disney
Yes.
VHS for us, please.
Ever since Mom digitized all of them, and I'm fairly certain she did digitize all of them. I don't know where the other VHS are. All
She
the VHS is.
digitized the VHS. We can talk about piracy
Okay.
later.
No. So
This is
even
just
if she
to watch
did,
the
which she didn't because of copyright laws and all that stuff, but even if she did, you could bring the face he just made.
She's not selling them. She's not profiting of
Yeah.
them. She's just making it
Nobody is going to use a VHS player right now.
lies. She has one in the next room.
Her aside. Okay.
To have that, like, that's the only way you can watch Disney movies. You gotta have that, like,
You gotta have that
stutter
VHS
start.
flair.
Yeah.
You need the jamming of the VHS player every
Exactly.
once
Can I
in a
call
while.
myself a VHS? Because I have that VHS flair. I'm a stutter start, but once I get going, I'm like. It's great.
Remember, friends.
sorry, Becca.
I'm crying a little bit at how long we've been recording.
Crying. Rebecca has cried.
She said it herself. She is crying apparently.
This is what I look like when I cry.
So emotional.
Well,
Hey, somebody new just liked our tragic mountain costumes. Started following us on Instagram. Thanks for the follow, friend. Remember, friends, everyone has something that they find odd. Let us tell you why it's not.
If you have any questionable topics you'd like us to discuss, you can share them with us on any of our social medias. Links can be found on our website, theladiesestrange.com, or you can email them to us at theladiesestrange@gmail.com.
don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. And if you think we're doing a great job and want to support the show, you can find us on Patreon. Keep it strange, lovelies.
Thanks, Nick, for joining us.
Yay! Thank
you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes! Woo, 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 woo. Thor's in the house. Lightning bolts everywhere. Hammer strike.
Oh my jeez, Tiffany needs to watch more Marvel movies.